Okay, welcome back to FTL. We're doing a playthrough with the Mantis ship on easy mode, and we had just finished up Sector 6 when I left off, so let's go check out Sector 7. It's a Zoltan-controlled sector. I've been avoiding these so far because I don't feel like dealing with their shielding, but since we don't have any choice, and we've got a very good ship layout right now, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Let's check out this distress signal, and then we'll go up to that store. We find a single life form on the surface of a nearby moon. We could invite him to join our crew, but we're full up and I'm happy with who we've got, so I'm going to take him to his home instead. They repair our hull in exchange. Our hull was full, so we don't really get anything for that, but at least we did a good deed. And here we find an anti-ship drone, which could be nice, except that it takes a lot of power and it's very expensive, so we can't actually afford it. And I'm happy with our defense drones as it is. I don't need any more fuel because we're almost to the last sector when we'll get a bunch of fuel for free anyway. So let's just jump away. Here we find a rebel ship with 4 crew member and a defense drone Mark II. This may be a little bit of a challenge, but it shouldn't be overwhelmingly difficult. I'm going to time all of my weapon attacks to hopefully punch through and disable their drones, and I'm actually going to target my small bomb on their drone control room and hopefully shut down these enemy drones. There we go, we shut down the one that's attacking us. Their defense drone is still up and running, but hopefully we'll be able to take that out. Yeah, there we go. With those disabled, I can turn off my small bomb, and I'm going to leave my lasers targeted where they are for now, just to keep them from getting anything fixed. Alright, there we go. With their shields taken out, I will target an empty room on their ship with one of my burst lasers, or with one of my hull lasers, rather. They are offering us surrender. We're going to say no, and there we go. With that volley, we took them out. So that was an easy fight. We got a whole bunch of scrap in reward. Here we find an enemy pirate. They're going to send an Engi onto our ship, which is almost laughable. And these guys are weak enough that I'm actually just going to board them straight away. And yep, that was a piece of cake. Send these 2 guys over to heal. Now to maximize efficiency, I could swap out my Mantis gunner for one of my extra crewmates, but he's got the most experience in gunnery right now. And in fact, he's almost maxed that out, and I'd really like to just have that cooldown bonus. So I'm going to keep him where he's been all game so far. I'm going to jump into the nebula because I'm basically just heading straight for the exit here. There's really nothing more I need. Check out this store. This is actually pretty tempting. We've got a burst laser 2. And a pike beam. I really like both of these weapons, and I haven't shown the pike beam off at all. So I actually am going to sell one of my hull lasers and buy a pike beam instead. I'm tempted to trade this other hull laser for that burst laser too as well, but we've seen enough of the burst laser, I think. So we'll just leave it like this for now. Alright, we have an Engi ship with 2 defense drones and a med bay, so since they don't have any threatening crew on board, I'm just going to disable their med bay and then send my boarding party over. This should be a fairly easy fight. I'm not sending my Mantis in there just yet because there's fire and I don't want them to be taking damage over time. You can see they're repairing that medbay very quickly, but now that I'm in there fighting them, they can't fix it up, which means I'll be able to take them down without any fuss. Excellent. And at this stage in the game, you can see really just how massively powerful the Mantis ship can be when you get the right upgrades. I mean, we are swimming in scrap. There's almost literally nothing for me to spend the scrap on at this point. I don't need any more weapon power. All of these upgrades are basically optional at this point. We find ourselves in an asteroid field, fighting a Zoltan ship that has been waiting here for us. The nice thing about fighting Zoltan ships in an asteroid field is that often the asteroids will do a better job of taking down their extra shielding than your weapons do. So that is almost taken care of, and then the minute that shield goes down, I'm going to send over my boarding party. Yeah, there we go. With that taken care of, it is more of the same. There we go. We got a free Hermes missile launcher out of the deal and some scrap. Won't be using that missile launcher, but it's more free stuff. Generally, the only missile launcher I use is the Artemis, because I think it's got the best balance of power requirements, cooldown time, and damage. I've experimented around with some of the other ones, like the Pegasus and the Hermes, but I just don't like them as much. And we are already to the end of the sector. I could jump around some more. You can see I'm pretty far ahead of the Rebel fleet, but there's not much point. I have more scrap than I know what to do with, and we're almost to the end of the game. So let's just go ahead and finish this off. There's a store right over there. Let's check it out, just for shits and giggles. We have more defense drones. I could buy that defense drone Mark II and replace one of my Mark Is and then be even more missile proof, but they take 4 power and my power capacity is already maxed out, so it would actually be a bit of a trade-off that I don't really feel like making. So I'm just going to sell that missile launcher that we're not going to use, and I'm going to go on a bit of a shopping spree, upgrade all of my stuff just for the sake of durability. And with that, I think we are good to go. Come across a fleet engagement. We can fight this rebel ship. We will do so. Oh, and I forgot that I don't actually have both hull lasers equipped at the moment, so I can't just target them both at their shields and punch through them like I normally do. Instead, I'm going to use the tactic I used with the beam weapons in my previous playthroughs, and set things up so that I take down their shields and then I can use the pike beam right away. The nice thing about the pike beam is that it only does 1 damage per room and won't pierce shields, but it's extremely long, as you see here, so you can cut through a lot of the ship. And I think if I aim it carefully, I can get these 5 rooms right here, all of which have a system in it. So, there we go, that's nice. As far as weapons go, as far as beam weapons go, the pike beam is not my absolute favorite. I think the halberd beam is probably the best one overall. but it's a lot of fun to use because it's just you can hit so many rooms with it at one time. And you can see there I didn't get through the shields, but that's okay. And they're doing a good job of keeping their shields up, and I guess they shot down one of my defense drones while I wasn't paying attention. And yeah, next time that pike beam fires, they go down. There we go. I'm going to send my boarding party over to heal up since they took a missile to the face. And with that, we are ready to jump again. I'm going to jump to this repair point just to, top off my hull strength. Get a few more missiles, because I used 3 or 4 in that last fight. And here we find ourselves fighting a rebel cruiser in the middle of their fleet. I'm actually not even going to fight these guys. I'm just going to sit here, take care of their boarding party, and then wait for my FTL drive to charge, and then I'll just jump away. We'd only get 1 fuel as a reward for winning this, and I don't need it, so there's no point in spending ammunition or time trying to take down the ship when I could just jump out of here. And that's good timing, because now we can cut off the rebel flagship. Alright, so same deal as before with this, only now we're even better equipped, arguably, than we have been in the past. It's going to cloak. I'm going to do a little bit of power juggling so that I can turn on both defense drones. Now that my Mantis boarders are all healed up, I'm going to turn off my med bay and turn my engine up 1 more notch, just to get a little bit of extra evasion. It's at 40%, which is very good. And same tactic I always use. Send the boarders over to take care of that missile launcher, and then just start working on wearing down their shields. There we go, I got 1. I want to get them down to at least 2, preferably 1 level of shield power before I start firing my other weapons, because I've only got 3 laser blasts to work with as far as working through their shields, aside from the small bomb. So this fight may actually end up being more of a challenge than if I were using dual hull laser 2s, but I think I've been making this boss fight look a little bit easier than it actually is, so I'd like to change things up a little bit. Alright, I haven't done any damage yet, so I'm going to take a risk and see. If all 3 of these hit, then I'll be able to hit them with my pike beam. Yep, there we go, excellent. That was some good luck on my part. I'm just going to keep my small bomb on auto-fire because there's no reason not to, but with the hull laser and the pike beam I do want to carefully time things out so that they fire simultaneously. Or rather, right after each other in the proper sequence. And now their shields are low enough that I don't really have to worry about timing my shots. Oh, yeah, I still did, actually. But their shields are totally down now, so I am just going to kind of sit back and let the rest of this fight play out, I think. Keep using my small bombs because they are trying to fix their shields still, but they are rapidly running out of crew members and shielding, and 1 more shot ought to be enough to do this. Yep, there we go. Alright, so that was pretty simple. I'll upgrade my sensors one more time. Having your sensors upgraded all the way for the last fight means that you can see what weapons the enemy ship is charging, but I'm familiar enough with this fight that I don't really need to know that. But, you know, it can't hurt. Once again, same deal as before. Board their ship to take out that missile launcher and wear down their shields. With 2 defense drones, well, of course, with 2 defense drones, I still have to deal with a boarding drone, but that's okay. A Rockman and a Mantis should take that drone down pretty quickly. And let's take a gamble and see if I can take down their shields all the way. Nope, no such luck. Alright. Gotta remember to cloak to dodge that attack. These guys are getting low on health, so I should probably send them up to heal. I'll do a little bit more juggling of my power, just to make sure that everybody gets what they need. I'm going to remember to target my weapons. You can see this is much more hectic than that last fight. Partially because of my weapon loadout, and just partially because of the random number generator. And it looks like if I'm careful I can actually target 6 rooms with my pike beam, which would be fantastic. Yep, excellent. With that taken care of, I'm going to send my Mantis gunner back to his position and send that Engie down to fix up the rest of my oxygen system. Got another drone swarm coming in, but I'm not too worried about that. Taking a few hits here and there, but that's okay, because we took them down. That was definitely a little more chaotic than I normally would have liked, but it was also fun. We did a lot of multitasking. Just mousing over all my guys to make sure everybody's at full health. And let's finish this off. I'm going to do a little bit more power juggling here. I'm going to go ahead and fire all of my weapons as soon as possible, because even though the pike beam doesn't pierce normal shields, it will actually still damage the super shield. And the quicker I can get that taken down, the better. He sent in one more boarder. He's not going to be able to do much. Cloaking to dodge the missiles and the super attack. That was good timing on my part. Just keeping an eye on my boarder's health, because that was getting very low. I'm going to charge up my med base so I can heal those guys up before anything untoward happens to them. And now that I am working on... Oop, lost a defense drone and took a hit from that missile, but that's okay. I'm going to send over my boarders to see if I can take out that missile launcher. And dodge another round of attacks. And their ship is actually completely on fire now. So I'm just going to go ahead and start plugging away at it. That shield room is not getting fixed anytime soon, especially when they've only got one badly injured crew member left. Oh! Alright. Well, I destroyed the enemy flagship with my Mantis boarding party on it, so I guess they died a hero's death, or a warrior's death. Anyway, that is typically how I will play the Mantis ship. I hope you enjoyed it and maybe learned something from it, and I will catch you guys next time.